I am Slick Nick, your personal certified Enneagram coach. I make this video to make it very clear to everyone, especially myself, that it is very easy to misdiagnose yourself or someone else as far as what your Enneagram type is. So for me, it took a couple of months since I first really got deep into Enneagram, and then I got my actual certification to be an Enneagram coach. But it's funny because looking back just the past couple of months, first of all, I'm not the number that I thought I was. I thought, what's funny is before I really started studying Enneagram, I thought I was a 1. I thought I was a reformer. That's totally not who I am. I'm not a perfectionist. But then once I actually took a test, then the test seemed to imply that I was a 3, which is the achiever, someone who fears failure. But 3s and 7s are often confused for one another, and I can understand that. But it took a while, but finally I realized, no, I don't fear failure. I know that I can overcome failure. That's a lot of what drives me, is to overcome failure. I don't fear failure. And I eventually realized that I was a 7. But even then, I misdiagnosed my wing and thought I was a 6. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a loyal person. Turns out, I'm loyal, but ultimately my wing is an 8. Turns out I actually do have anger issues. They just don't come out like an actual 8 would express them. So I'm not someone who is going to, you're typically not going to see me angry. You'll see me annoyed or bothered, but as far as being angry, you're not going to see that. Doesn't mean the anger is not there. It's boiling inside of me and only feeds the anxiety going on. But ultimately my wing is an 8. So here's, first of all, what I would recommend if you really want to know what your Enneagram type is. I talk about all this time. This book, I think, is better than even the quizzes you can take. I've taken pretty much all of the quizzes. And some of the quizzes did say that I was a 7. But the thing is, when you're answering these questions about yourself, maybe the first time you think about it, when you're going through 50 or 100 questions, you say initially what you're thinking in that moment. But sometimes it's better to analyze a question a little bit. So for example, a lot of people, hey, do you fear failure? Maybe initially I would have said yes, but then if I thought about it for 2 more seconds, I'm like, well, no, I don't want to fail, but I don't fear it. So then you overanalyze it or underanalyze it. But this book right here, the Enneagram Made Easy, which I make it easy for you to buy on Amazon right there with the link, but it really helped me understand myself better. So for example, me being a 7, there's this idea of 7s that they're scattered and that they fear being in pain. Like, I don't go around thinking that. However, fundamentally, what angers me, what upsets me, what is ultimately something I fear? Well, yeah, it is. It's the fear of not being productive, ultimately, is how I would say it. But that goes in the category of, being bored. I have to always be doing something. Even now, I'm filming this on my lunch break, and I'm working all day, and I was at the gym for an hour, and then I went on a walk for 30 minutes. I'm constantly staying busy, and I've always been that way. So I didn't understand that about myself, that it's fundamentally because I don't want to be bored. In my mind, I answered it differently. Well, I always want to be productive. Well, that's not the same as being successful and fearing failure. So this book has really broken it down for me to understand it better. But I will say this, I think it helps tremendously that I'm a certified Enneagram coach. But even then, every couple of people that I analyze, I learn a little bit more. Like, even my wife, for example, I said, you know what? You're not a 1. You're not a perfectionist. You're a 9. You're a peacemaker. Your wing is a 1. And that's easy to do, to misdiagnose someone by their wing until you start answering all the questions. And for example, this book has 20 questions for each type. And that's often the giveaway of who you really are, as far as understanding all that. But I realize now I misdiagnosed my sister. I thought she was a 6. If you watch videos I made a couple months ago, I'm like, yeah, I love 6s, they're awesome. My mom's a 6, not my sister. So it can be very easy to misdiagnose yourself or others. And I would recommend this is the best way to help figure it out. It takes some research. So keep watching my videos. I love talking about this. Your comments belong right here.